Hello and welcome to the Mark Out Moment. My name is Dave.
My name is Joe.
And I'm Jason Ibsen.
And the person with the last name.
Yes, and right now we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about what we would do following WrestleMania 28, the next night on Monday Night Raw, to kickstart the next year of professional wrestling. And then at the very end, we're going to talk about what our fantasy WrestleMania 29 cards would be. So yeah, what would you do the next night on Raw following WrestleMania to kickstart the new year?
Well, assuming if The Rock wins WrestleMania, I think there's gonna be a lot of bitterness with John Cena. I'd like to see that, and then possibly branch off on a new thing. Someone else is trying to challenge him, perhaps. I don't know who it would be, but I don't know. I feel that there'd be a lot of bitterness between him, and he'd want satisfaction somehow.
Joe, so
no
noisy.
respect, man. So that, and I think they're gonna focus more on that. Probably, there may be some tidbit with Undertaker after he wins. I mean, I don't remember if there was.
Depending on what happens.
Yeah, there wasn't last year.
There wasn't.
He just sort of disappeared.
Right. So that might be the classic. We'll see you in 8 months with Undertaker.
10.
Maybe what I'd love to see. You don't hear anything from Undertaker, but with Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
That's true. There'll be something.
That'd be good. Yeah. And if we saw like a new thing where we'd see Triple H and Shawn Michaels banter between each other and whatnot, might foresee some things to come, possibly SummerSlam or whatever. Even though Shawn Michaels retired,
right.
I'd like to see some, best friends
fighting each other. Do you think there would be a match
other.
Though, given his?
No,
I don't.
Well, you know what? I don't know.
It's just like no rules anymore when it
When
comes to
people
that.
retire, they always show up later on. It's
right.
it's a given.
I mean, I don't want there to be a match.
Sure,
Michaels went out in a really great way.
He did.
Right. And I don't want him to pull Ric Flair with TNA.
Right.
There's no reason.
Ric Flair had the perfect send-off.
He had one of the greatest.
And then he ruined it all.
Money
By
talks,
going to
man.
TNA. Money talks.
Money talks.
Right.
Although it was.
So I mean, we really don't need anything to follow up between the Divas match and all that other stuff.
There will be.
Between Team Teddy and Team Johnny, there may be some. I hope there's some things that continue on Monday Night Raw, because now it's a whole new who's running the game.
Well, would you do anything right off the bat as sort of a way to say,
if John,
here's the new year?
If Johnny wins, I'd love to see like a dark Raw beginning for Monday Night Raw.
Like dark Raw. What do you mean?
Like it starts and he's sitting in a giant chair with
like
smoke.
This is how. Well, this is how things are gonna, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you played the WrestleMania game, 2012, when the whole Kevin Nash thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about totally ripping things apart and turning everything upside down.
Oh, so if Johnny wins or Teddy wins, who'd you say?
I said Johnny.
Johnny. If
Teddy, I came to terms, as much as I'd love to see Team Teddy win, I came to terms that it's not really going to be entertaining for the things that
right.
come.
If certain things happen,
I don't think Teddy has the chops to make things interesting. The yo 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 or holla holla holla.
Holla holla.
Yeah, that's man, I'm just done with it.
So okay, so then
I'm just done with it.
You would start things on Raw with John Laurinaitis basically tearing down the WWE and saying it is a new. Now this isn't hinting at anything. This is a new world order on professional wrestling. Yeah. I'm in charge. My administration, Team Johnny, now has the reins, and they're going to be getting
almost the corporation.
Right?
Yeah, which was the best times in WWE when you had the corporation, the ministry.
So then
the ministry of corporate.
So then,
ministry,
during this next year of programming, you would focus. Would you bring back stables?
Absolutely. That'd be a perfect way to start.
Starting with
absolutely. And when you have this,
ideally,
if I was writing it, I would love to see that and have all the vets, Jerry Lawler, Booker T, all these guys come up and stand up for what they believe in.
So you're going for almost an invasion storyline. In a sense.
Takeover.
Yeah, takeover. Yeah.
Well, in that game.
I would just love to see like
new blood.
Evil is coming, and there's going to be a a good force coming to stop. But it has to.
And
be...
who would that be? You got a whole. You got
to have a superhero.
You have a whole year. Who would it be? Would it be John Cena? Would it be?
John Cena is not worthy of that. I think
John Cena's not worthy of that.
Yeah,
it's not that
Who's worthy of that?
It's not that John Cena
to knock down the bad evil.
Yeah, but John Cena is bad evil to begin with.
He's not bad evil. He's just no one likes him.
No one likes him. I don't
not
think
because of he's
I don't
a bad
think
guy.
even if he was doing it, I think people would be kind of shocked if he would, and probably wouldn't like it.
Who would it be?
Oh, man, dude.
I also think from a standpoint is even if that does happen, the grand spectrum thing. Let's say that Ibsen's thing actually happens, and it could. It really it's a good idea. I feel like whatever happens with John Cena and The Rock, he's going to be tied up till SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'd like to see someone you wouldn't expect, like Jerry Lawler. He's a commentator, but he knows how he was there for all of it. You know what I mean? Or even a current wrestler, a person who's currently in it. You need a hero.
I'm sorry. This is actually really interesting. I just want to piggyback.
CM Punk.
Again,
CM Punk. Yes.
It'd be interesting considering back in July, that kickstarted his whole, resurgence to the top, was him basically saying there needs to be a new face of the WWE, and then you have Team Johnny saying we're the new faces of the WWE, we're in charge.
Yeah,
so it would actually be really interesting to put Punk up against them.
Yeah, it would
because then it's sort of
and it gives him a chance.
The audience would like it, and he could really stir some shit up. Like if they were to stir some things up, he could fire right back at them.
Right.
So ideally, that's what I would want to see personally.
For our money, like you said, bringing stables back, we haven't seen one man against a regime since Austin and the Corporation.
Yeah. I mean, you had Nexus.
Right, you had Cena Nexus.
Yeah, that's right.
But it really didn't go too far.
It didn't work. They tried it and they kind of phased it out after they were like, this doesn't work.
But that's what I'd like to see, me personally. I think we did enough with me.
But that was like a 2-year run where it was like Austin versus the Corporation, Austin versus the Corporation.
But it was
one man in a chair can only take him down.
So interesting. I mean, when they unmasked.
Remember when Stephanie almost got married to the Undertaker?
Yeah, when they unmasked that. Who they unmasked? It was Austin,
Vince.
Right? It was Vince, right?
It was Vince. It was the higher power.
Right. He was the higher power. That was the whole thing. I was at the edge of my seat with that. That was just good TV, man.
All right, so there you go.
You're saying return of stables.
Yes.
Return to that's what you would do.
Powerhouse stable, not a little mini
year.
It's
all
like
right.
this
That's
is
good. That's interesting. That's actually.
I mean, well, the last time it was kind of they didn't do it in an extensive period, but it was when it was the WWE and then ECW.
WCW, ECW.
It was Shane and
Stephanie. That was Invasion.
Against,
That's when.
Yeah,
I'm talking about what I'm talking about because you mentioned.
I'm talking over a period. This could last an entire year.
It could.
And it'd be so interesting.
You could last till next WrestleMania.
Joe, what would you do on Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania 28?
Well, really quick, just to lend kudos to my friend to the left over here, because it was a good idea. To piggyback on top of that, if that did happen, I would just like to say, I think it'd also be really interesting to see kind of, Johnny kind of, you said going to dark, kind of losing a little bit and actually trying to just overthrow Vince as a whole and kind of bring Vince
Vince
back.
Isn't in charge anymore.
Yeah.
The character's not in charge anymore.
It's Triple
H. The board of the directors.
So then there you go. I'm sorry to go back to it. Why not just pick Triple H from a standpoint?
It's too. I feel like it would be too predictable. If you had CM Punk,
make him a factor.
If you had CM Punk do it, and then Triple H gives him whatever he needs, a handshake and whatnot, and he's like, I'm there for you. I'm not supposed to, but wink, wink, I'm on your side. You know what I mean? He may not be allowed to interfere.
Right, Triple H is technically in charge.
Because when you're having Team Johnny, we're assuming Team Johnny running things and whatnot. How involved can Triple H be if he's running things? Granted, he has the upper hand.
But that's
of
what I'm
things,
saying. Like it's almost like
but
in
at a business standpoint,
NWO DX kind of way where they tried to almost take over the entire.
And
company.
if anyone knows like stables and groups and whatnot, it's Triple H. He was the leader of DX.
All right. So then, what would you do, Joe?
Well, let's see. Stuff that I'd like to see, and I think what would happen is, I think whatever happens with the Cena Rock thing, I would like to see. Personally, I would like to see some more. I would like to see a darker John Cena, personally. Maybe not, because I've had some time to think about this now. Maybe not a complete heel turn from Cena, but a more. I feel like because he's so clean cut, that's why nobody responds to him. I say if you go just a little bit darker with him, make him, make him just a little bit more darker. I'd like to see more darkness from him. I'd like to see him be a little more sinister.
Nowadays, he's just so predictable. I'm sorry to interrupt, but he's just so predictable.
And you're right.
He hasn't really changed much.
He hasn't changed much.
It's just the same old shtick with him, and not only do no one likes him, but he's just boring.
That's what I mean.
He's
so
boring.
I would like to see a darkness from him. I'd like to see him do stuff that we haven't seen him before.
Unpredictable. He comes out, he does a salute, and he goes down. Everyone boos at him, and he kisses his dog tags. It's the same shit.
Well, what do you think? Would an interesting story with John Cena be? Because everybody the informed fan wants John Cena to turn heel. As soon as he does, he's going to get cheered. Which is interesting. Because it's going to happen. Right. Granted, that won't happen against The Rock. If he turns heel against The Rock
I feel like you could
in Miami,
hell's
going to break loose.
I think the wheels can be put in motion for the rest of the year for this stuff.
Right. If Cena does something on Raw the following night, heelish, I think the second baby face in the WWE right now would be CM Punk. I don't know if it would work against CM Punk.
No.
If John Cena did something to turn heel, kick somebody in the nuts or something like that,
just chair shots.
Yeah, something like that, he'd immediately get cheered. So he can almost turn around and then acknowledge, so that's what it took to get cheered from you people.
Right.
And throw it back in their face.
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting.
It would be interesting. That's what I mean. But that again is I'd like to see that. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more underhand stuff, more dark stuff from him. He's so clean cut and he's predictable. Ibsen's exactly right. He is predictable and he's, he does the same goddamn thing every night. So, and you have a chance now, regardless of what happens with the match in WrestleMania between him and The Rock, whatever happens, you can kind of go almost in the direction with it. You know what I mean? Because Raw's a clean slate. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see more.
If you were to have, dude, ready for this?
I don't know. Hold on, let me just.
Team Johnny.
I'm ready.
Team Johnny. You do the whole higher power type deal. They could be getting aid from someone.
I don't want to see recycled storylines.
But no. But make it, change it up and whatnot. Have someone helping Team Johnny and kind of throw a wrench into the good team, the people fighting them. Throw a wrench in it, like they got some sort of information or they're helping out and whatnot. Have it be John Cena leading up to it.
That's a good
idea. And then that's your heel moment right there. Because he likes the way things are going currently or something like that. He was that was his breaking point. He got an opportunity to help out someone who normally he wouldn't. That would be his breaking point.
And then Jeff Hardy comes back.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride that train. But that's from that standpoint, I definitely like to see more darkness from Cena after this. The stable thing is really good. What else? I don't know. The whole Triple H Shawn thing. You have a dynamic there that can be really well investigated because there's a lot of truth to that. Who is better? Who had the better career? Who accomplished more?
All these questions keep coming up.
Yeah,
it makes you wonder, will Shawn Michaels come back just for that?
It lays groundwork for what I think we can see from them later in the year. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Dave, what do you think?
About
Raw.
About Raw in general or Triple H HBK?
Well, Triple H HBK.
In order to continue that, I don't know if that story would have to be continued. It depends how the match turns out at WrestleMania. Okay. If Shawn Michaels does something to cost Triple H the match. Well, you know what? I don't even know if it'd have to be continued that way either because Shawn Michaels is retired.
Exactly.
Triple H can say something like, the next night on Raw, he's not even here. That coward. And then that would be the end of it.
Yeah, but there's so many other people who are retired who keep coming back. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
But Shawn has always been, regardless out of early during his drug addiction, when he turned into the real dick for a while, when he basically was banned from the company, he's always been one of those people that when he does something, he sticks by it. Right. And I have to believe...
If that's the case, then he wouldn't be here for WrestleMania.
No. That's not the point. No. When Stone Cold retired and when Mick Foley retired, they never said, this is my last match.
Right, okay.
Shawn did that with Taker.
He did.
Yeah.
So Shawn will be going back on his word and all the interviews and stuff like that. No, I'm not wrestling anymore.
Well then, but when you hint all the stuff, like when Shawn's smiling behind Triple H and
that's
all that
laying
stuff,
groundwork for the match, though.
I think that's hinting at the fact that Shawn might not call the match down the middle.
Yeah, because it all brings up. If you look at, all right, here's a perfect example. Right after that promo, after that Raw, the next day on WWE.com, they had a big article all about what Shawn Michaels' history as a referee.
Right.
There's another hint right there. It's laying it back down that he might not call it down the middle. He may not see something. Whatever happens, it's like that's what that's hinting at. I don't think he's. I actually am positive that there will not be a match between Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I just don't. I don't see it. They already had that match and it was pretty good. Don't go.
I'd still like to see them bury the hatchet.
They might,
whether it be during Raw. It doesn't have to be an official match. Just come out and talk.
All right.
I love seeing those moments. It doesn't always have to be about bloodshed and matches and whatnot. When people come out and they talk and whatnot, that's always interesting to me too. But if there's unanswered questions, it's good to settle it out.
Yeah, I mean you have to look at it like this. Just from off the WrestleMania card alone, stuff that we know is going to be addressed. The tag match will be addressed in some way, state, or form.
It's gotta,
It's going to be, no, but whatever happens with it. Obviously, the Rock Cena thing will be addressed somehow, depending on what happens with that. There's going to be some nod to the Undertaker Triple H match. I don't know. They could really pull a weird one with that. So we don't know. Dave, what did you like to see at Raw?
Well, you guys are gonna hate me.
You gonna want to watch the world burn?
No.
Am I gonna?
No.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. That's probably the worst impression of Michael Cole.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It sounded like the Jurassic Park guy.
Yeah. The T-Rex.
How I'd open Raw with John Cena.
You'd open Raw with John Cena?
With John Cena.
Okay.
If he won the match due to shady circumstances, I just have him deliver a promo, just being like, not acknowledging the fact that he cheated, or something happened, but just being like, I defeated The Rock. Just the way I said I would.
Accept it. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, because I rose above hate. Throw everything back in their face and all that.
That
shit.
whole thing.
If he wins cleanly,
there's really nothing we could say about it.
No, I'd have him come out and say none of you stood behind me, and turn him heel.
I would have. Yeah, that'd be good if he starts the whole speech is like, I did it, I beat it, and then he's like, and no one of you thought I could, and not one of you ever had my back.
But then in the next breath be like, except
Cody
this little kid right here.
Yeah. Except this little kid.
Except all my 11-year-olds and my wives out
something
there.
Like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, that's a hell of a... I only go for the children.
That's how I'd open Raw.
With John Cena.
Yeah. I think the next big story we got to touch upon is the Team Johnny.
So what'd you think what I said?
With the stables?
Yeah. When we were talking about that.
No, it's a good idea. Stables. Mm-hmm. I think stables are a good way.
And they're a lost art now.
Of elevating talents at a quicker pace.
Yeah, because you have a group of people.
You have a group of people playing off each other, and that's just how it works. Those are my dogs barking in the background, in case you can hear those. I think that's a great idea.
The stables really is. I can't. That really put me in a rut because
I don't know. I don't know if I would do the whole. He wants to take over the entire WWE, and because I don't know if I want that much.
I feel he's him as like a character. He's very power hungry.
Right, but I don't know if I personally, if I was writing things, I would want my whole WWE programming to be focused on John Laurinaitis, because I think there's bigger fish in the pond in this next coming year that all my focus should be on. John Laurinaitis isn't one of them. I think he can throw around his weight to the people that helped him get this position, give Christian his last title match, give The Miz a title match, all these different things like that. How I would close Monday Night Raw? I would close Monday Night Raw by having Chris Jericho come down to the ring, say something. This is in a world where CM Punk won.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll say that. Chris Jericho comes down, says something, basically, piss on all of you, I'm out of here.
Nah.
Only to show up later on in the year during the WWE draft, go over to SmackDown.
Technically, he didn't lie then.
Right.
Yeah.
So as that whole confrontation is happening and is over between CM Punk and Chris Jericho, CM Punk can come down and be like, you shut your mouth, face me one more time, something like that. Do I have to shut your mouth up again? Chris Jericho can deny him the fact. Something along those lines, so like Chris Jericho...
not give him the satisfaction of even facing him in a match.
Right, so that Chris Jericho is walking away with that one-up. You know what I mean? And he's going to come back later on SmackDown. So now you got CM Punk alone in the ring, and I'd bring Stone Cold out. And the following night of WrestleMania 28, I would announce the main event for WrestleMania 29 as Stone Cold versus CM Punk.
Sure.
I would do the...
What the perfect world, yes.
I would do the exact same
thing.
Now,
what would be the reason for Stone Cold wanting
You can bring up the whole Twitter battle.
Oh, God.
Bring it up. WWE is so big right now on what's Twitter or what's trending, what's, all this crap.
Hashtags.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring it up. The fans know about it.
Right. Follow them. Everybody in that arena.
And those that don't, you just have to have Jerry Lawler or Michael Cole say, this is what's been happening for the last year.
Right.
And there you go. Everybody's informed. Everybody's brought up to the same speed. But I think Stone Cold versus CM Punk is the type of battle where everybody's immediately going to buy into it. There doesn't necessarily have to be a reason. It's just going to be something like, fuck yes, I want to see that. I don't care why.
I think personally that would do better than the Cena.
Oh, it would be a great match. It's just wanting to see some sort of build up.
There'll be build up to it.
That's all. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna go fight you. I haven't kicked your ass yet, and I want to.
That's how The Undertaker and Triple H started last year.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do on Monday Night Raw. All right, so now we're going to talk about our WrestleMania 29 fantasy cards.
Mm-hmm.
What would let's start with.
How about we start with you? You're up top.
Yeah, you're top.
Okay, we'll start.
Or you want to start? No, let's start at the bottom.
Okay, whatever. We'll start with.
So mad at me.
This is Jay's fantasy card. Jay, go through it. Talk about what matches you would do, and talk about the. I don't know.
Why? Beforehand?
Yeah, the 2 months leading up to it. Whatever it does to get this match established and put on the card.
Well, first I have the Divas match, and I really don't need anything for that, do I?
No.
Yeah, I did Kelly and Beth Phoenix against Eve and Trish Stratus. I thought by throwing in a legend like Trish Stratus, it might be quasi-interesting.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I have to say the winner, too? Or
No.
Next match I have. I thought this was pretty funny. I feel like Santino and Dolph Ziggler would have a match, and it went to a draw, and there'd be some, altercations with them, run-ins and stuff like that. And I think it'd be hilarious if Dolph Ziggler went to Santino and says, "I want to face you."
You said slave for a month. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, yeah, you just ruined it. If they had a thing, listen, if I beat you, you got to be my slave for a month. And I think it'd be hilarious if Santino beat Dolph Ziggler at his own match, and Dolph Ziggler had to be his slave for a month, and for that entire month, Santino just having him do stupid things and hilarious things. It'd be good for, humor. Cody Rhodes. I follow Goldust on Twitter, and he's trying to get. He's been injured for a long time, and he wanted to fight Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. He had a petition out. It didn't go through. I would love to see that, and Cody Rhodes versus Goldust, and have Dusty Rhodes, their father, be a special guest referee. Because it's like you got 3 generations right there. I think that's pretty cool. Goldust is Cody Rhodes' brother, but he's an older brother. So I think it'd be pretty cool.
You have 3 wrestling generations.
3 wrestling generations, we'll say. Cody Rhodes is the current champion in my, upcoming WrestleMania. And I'd love to see either one could win. Doesn't matter to me, but I think it's cool. Like the father.
He's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yes, Intercontinental. I'd love to see like the father have to choose. It's like choosing which.
Would you have Cody hang on to the IC title all year? Make him the longest running IC champion ever?
No.
No?
No.
Just
I wouldn't
wondering.
do that.
So the belt's pretty meaningless. You don't have to...
It used to be
Yeah.
very coveted.
It might add some prestige to it if somebody's able to hold on to it.
I mean, I'm not ruling it out. I mean, if that's the case, it'd be pretty cool. I don't think Goldust could win or should win.
All right.
I think it's just cool to see him in a match with
Against
his brother.
his
Yeah. Next match, Zack Ryder versus Daniel Bryan, who would be the current world heavyweight champion. You know this. I think Zack Ryder's great. I think he's funny. He's very entertaining to watch. He's been in the business for 3 years now.
Longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, he just has
I used to hang out with him in 2007.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
NYWC. So.
I remember the day you told me he was going to be on TV. It's like, I know him.
Yeah.
No, but in the WWE, how long has he been?
In WWE.
He just has. How long has he been Zack Ryder?
Well, he used to be an Edgehead.
He said this is.
What was the Edgeheads?
Well, he said he was.
2007?
He said this is his third WrestleMania.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
his third WrestleMania
Right.
he's appeared on.
He's been there for a while, man. I think him having a world
was an
heavyweight
Edgehead.
champion, it'd be pretty cool to see. You know, he does his web series and whatnot, which I think is pretty hilarious. And I think he's just a great wrestler too. I'd love to see him win, but I mean, for him to lose at WrestleMania for the world heavyweight champion, it's not a terrible idea. Just to have him have a shot would be really cool to see. I feel that he's been overlooked, and what he's doing is, being that he's overlooked so much, he kind of turns it into comedy, which is a good way of putting a spin on it. Next match, I have The Miz as the current WWE champion versus Chris Jericho. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. I can just use Chris Jericho since he added another 6 months to his thing. And I think they're both so pompous. I'd love to see them. Who's the bigger...
Would you make Miz babyface by then?
Would Miz be the babyface or Jericho be the babyface?
I have to go Jericho. I liked seeing Jericho more as a face more than I did as a heel, so that's how I'd like to see that. I think Jericho would win the audience more. Again, whoever wins or loses, it doesn't matter.
Who would you have win or lose?
Jericho. Well, he's not here that long, so I mean, the way I did it is he extended for his WWE title. So, if he decided to stay,
we're fantasy booking to begin with. Let's
drop that whole contract
things.
I'd have him take the title. I'd have Jericho take the title.
He was a good champion when he won.
Next,
Undertaker versus Kane in the Buried Alive match.
Would this be Undertaker's retirement?
If it's my fantasy, I'd like to keep Undertaker as much as possible. So no. I think it'd be really gripping to see that kind of match.
Would this be Kane's retirement?
Could be.
I think a Buried Alive match is the perfect way to
be
them off.
Like Yokozuna. It'd be great if you just never saw him again.
Right.
So that's a great point, man. That's excellent. I'd like to see that. And it'd be great if Paul Bearer came out with the urn and kind of with the light.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You don't know about the Taker.
Yeah, and then it takes his soul in the urn, and then you just never see him again. Yeah. We just saw the levels spike up on the
That's a
the
good
recording.
Paul Bearer impression.
Undertaker.
Okay, he's gonna bury you 8 feet.
So that'd be cool. I'd like to see that because Paul Bearer, man. I mean, you had like you said, $1 Million Man was his manager and whatnot. Paul Bearer was just great to be with the Undertaker. He really presented him really well.
Okay, and your main event?
CM Punk versus Stone Cold. I put special guest referee Roddy Piper. Again, pretty random, I know. I think it'd be cool to have a Piper's Pit moment earlier on,
right,
where he decides where's this coming from and whatnot. I know CM Punk loved Roddy Piper when he was growing up. He was one of his one of his biggest fans. One of the guys he looked up to when he was watching when he was younger. And I think Stone Cold and him too. It'd be great. It'd be good just to find out why they want to fight and just interviewing them, and then things get ugly, and then he's presented with the opportunity to be special guest referee.
Just as a side note, I am shocked that they did not do a Piper's Pit with Roxana.
I'm actually really they didn't do any kind of...
Like, nothing.
I mean, when we went to that Raw, all three of us, they did the Piper's Pit, and I always loved that segment.
Dave wasn't at that Raw.
I wasn't there.
Oh, man.
Dave couldn't get out. You were in
that's right,
show
that's
at the
right.
time. He kept texting us hateful things.
I did.
I remember.
Well, he kept texting you hateful things because he saw you on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just shocked that they didn't do that for Roxana.
Well, you would think they would, given the build-up. That's usually kind of where they have Piper come in and be like, well, here you go. He's kind of just like the onlooker to it.
All right, Joe, your WrestleMania 29 card is...
First off, well, this is in no particular order except for the last, like, two.
Okay.
Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger. I personally I like Dolph Ziggler, and I may not be the biggest Jack Swagger fan, but I feel like that'd be a good match. We could almost go with the 2 months before that. You can almost go the same route of that actually Ibsen said before, but the kind of not do the slave for a month match, but some kind of challenge. I didn't put any stipulation with it because I'd rather see just a straight wrestling match.
They're a current tag team.
Yeah.
So you could have that team last maybe till the end of the year, and then have them turn on each other or something like that.
That's what I want to do. Well. Yeah, let's go. I that's probably the best route for it. Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger having a breakup. You can actually open the match with that, and then for my Divas match, you can have Tamina Snuka versus Karma versus Natalya versus Kelly because that's the best it's gonna get. Then John Cena versus The Miz for the World Championship. And I think the groundwork for this really can be laid in the fact that if you have a darker Cena or a heel Cena go up against a baby-faced Miz, I feel like that'd be really interesting.
Why are you shouting?
Look at those levels.
Look at those
shouting.
levels. Jeez.
He's passionate.
He's very passionate.
He's passionate about his John Cena Miz match. But that would be interesting because it would be the dynamic of both superstars would be completely flipped to what we're used to.
It's almost
it would leave the audience guessing. I feel
it would leave the audience guessing.
It's like, who am I supposed to root for? God damn it!
And then you have a fatal 4-way for your WWE Championship, which I don't think. Oh no, done WrestleMania 2000.
It was done.
That was the last time it was done.
That's why I brought it back because I thought you have Zack Ryder versus Cody Rhodes versus Christian versus Randy Orton. Now, I picked the first two.
Let's say it's elimination rules.
Yeah, it would be the way it was done in 2000.
Who's the first person eliminated?
It would have to be Cody Rhodes. Second one would be Zack Ryder because it's not his time yet. But he would.
Okay.
I don't believe it's his time yet. I see the Randy Orton being the winner out of this one.
Okay.
Or actually, I take that back. I think Cody Rhodes would be the first, then Christian, and then it comes down to Zack Ryder and Randy Orton.
All right.
For my money, that'd be reminiscent of right before the time Jeff Hardy won the title. He won. He almost beat Triple H in Elimination Chamber, and I remember him. He had just started to come up and really get a lot of more title shots, and that was the closest he came at the time. And I remember him being a big fan favorite. He was loved by a lot of people, and seeing him come that close was almost a victory in of itself. And I think that would lay the groundwork for Zack Ryder to go on and become the champion after that.
All right.
So that's what I say about that. My next match is Evan Bourne versus Sin Cara for the IC Championship. I've always been big. I know Evan Bourne's foot is destroyed right now, but this is a year later. So yeah, Evan Bourne versus Sin. That would just, the groundwork for that lane. They're both high flyers. Although, even though you could say that Sin Cara is probably the more seasoned of the high flyers because he's a luchador, but
even though he keeps hurting himself,
he does.
The
spectacle, this is insane.
The spectacle of it all would be very.
The spectacle of it all would be insane, and you could. Just the groundwork laid for it could just be something of a I don't know. It's like Sin Cara is so flashy. He's kind of in the limelight right now. Evan Bourne comes back. Sin Cara could be the the Intercontinental Championship. It could be a chance to see Evan Bourne be a pretty good heel because I see Sin Cara being the babyface in this one. So as Evan Bourne comes back, in many ways you have Sin Cara who kind of took over the limelight since he came back, and and have a really really awesome match, really good high flying match.
All right.
And then
would you make that a ladder match?
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, I was gonna say you have two high flyers. You gotta spice it up.
All right. Now Taker. I don't want to give it away.
Don't spoil it, Dave.
Your Undertaker match would be...
My Undertaker match is Undertaker versus Mick Foley. I believe In my world,
taking it back to yesteryear.
In my world, this is the Undertaker's last match.
Okay.
I feel like if you're gonna get, I mean, granted, you said Kane, and I know you expressed before thinking that
it wouldn't be his last match, right?
But I believe, Kane could give him the right setup, but I just. Growing up, watching the battles that they had in the memory, I mean, we mentioned it before the cage match, and before that, the boiler room brawl that he had with them. And Dave, you all right? You sleepy over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Boring, you.
I feel like, granted, and people have argued the fact to me, well, Foley's not the best in ring, and he's not like the most showy guy. But you put him in the ring with somebody like that, something good's gonna come out of it. We might be surprised, So, and it's just they know how to work with each other, and they can work well with each other. And I think it'd be one of both their best matches, hopefully.
Would you make that any specific kind of match? Hell in a Cell, nothing like that.
Doesn't need it. I don't think it needs it. I think it gets too glitzy at that point. I think we need a straight up match. Ref will probably get knocked out, and that stuff will come into play. But I think straight up, you don't need the glitz and glamour of something like that.
And
that match will sell itself.
Okay.
And your main event.
There's a running theme right here, apparently, right now. Stone Cold versus CM Punk. That just from the standpoint of the groundwork's been laid for it for a little while now, with the whole Twitter thing that you mentioned before, and I believe that it would be bigger than Rock Cena. The more of a draw, maybe.
I think it would as well, because I think the fans knew The Rock would come back.
Yeah.
Eventually. He would do something.
Yeah.
I think
Austin's in the Hall of Fame.
Right. I think it'd be more special.
One more
when
round.
Stone Cold comes back.
It would be more special. And to be quite honest, I've always believed, growing up an Austin fan and a Rock fan, I've always believed Austin had the bigger draw than The Rock. And he didn't have to say as much as The Rock. He just has to be there.
I just thought of this the other day, and it has nothing to do with WrestleMania. I just wanted to say something about CM Punk, if you guys agree. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out. Yeah. With Michael Bay is directing it, yada, yada, yada.
You want him to be in it?
I want CM Punk to be Casey Jones. I'm just saying it right now.
Anyway. Dave, let's move on to yours. Can I call out for you? Do your first one.
My first match would be Sin Cara versus Rey Mysterio.
Explain.
And the reason why I'm doing that is because they wanted to do that this year, but
they're both injured.
Sin Cara got hurt, and then Rey Mysterio got hurt. Yeah. Because what they wanted to do was they wanted to break the world record for the most people gathered wearing luchador masks.
That's a hell of a bizarre little record.
They were going to hand out luchador masks whenever you entered the arena, and they were going to have everybody wear them during this match.
They probably will do that match.
It's unfortunate because I'd love to see what Rey Mysterio is going to be this year.
Yeah,
oh God! I know, can we not have new costumes?
He
was stipulation being he loses no more costumes.
He was Captain America last year.
Next year,
he was Joker before that.
Next year, it's probably gonna be Superman because you're gonna have Man of Steel coming out. But anyway, that would be my opening match. You put those two together. They're both masked. You let them do their luchador thing for about 20 minutes.
Guaranteed entertainment up there.
Right. You let them do 20 minutes and you're good. Okay, my next match.
I feel like you're particularly proud of this one.
I'm proud for him. This is brilliant.
I don't know where it came from. You know how I would build up to this match? I'd have Santino Marella walking around as with the United States Championship, thinking he's hot shit.
Like the scene in Spider-Man 3 when he's walking down the snapping his fingers.
Something like that. That Santino keeps winning, but he keeps winning because something happens. Something stupid happens.
Luck is on his side.
Luck is on his side, and Santino keeps winning, and
somebody trips.
And his head keeps getting more and more inflated.
I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
Right. And you know what I would do? I'd have him start a relationship. Put Santino back in a relationship with someone. He wasn't in a relationship with Beth Phoenix. Put him together with someone else. Who else? Maybe Natalia or someone random. Tamina. I don't know. Only for Miss Karma to step in and.
This is a lesbian storyline?
No. And sort of be like, yeah, I'm attracted to Santino, and shove Tamina or whoever it is, Natalia, out of the picture. So you got a nice little Divas feud going on there. And all in all, Santino ends up with Karma in the end. It's a nice relationship, funny, very comedic. but then right before WrestleMania 29, have them break up. Maybe at the Royal Rumble. Maybe Santino eliminates Karma at the Royal Rumble, and she's pissed. So that at WrestleMania 29, you can get Karma versus Santino. I just think it would be hysterical.
It's unfortunate because we don't have James here to do his Santino impression to see what would happen.
Right, his dead-on Santino impression. So that's what I would do with Karma and Santino. I just think it would be funny.
That's a really good idea.
Right? Vince, are you listening?
Yeah,
right? Then my...
You need any riders?
The next one. Dude.
My Intercontinental title match, I'd do Daniel Bryan versus Zack Ryder. I'd have... I would have
You're knocking Daniel Bryan down a peg, assuming that he doesn't get the title back.
Yeah, I'm knocking him down a peg, but I think... I don't think he's necessarily going to be hurt by it in this day and age.
Yeah.
I
mean, they've done it before. They did it with a couple currently.
They did it with
Sheamus.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
It's like a reverse thing now. You be world championship first, then you have the IC championship shot.
I'd have Daniel Bryan go into the event as the IC champion, just so that Zack Ryder could defeat him and get his
Mania moment.
And yeah, I mean that match, that feud can be started
instantly,
any number of ways. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the World Championship is what I have right now. I think it's there.
Yeah.
They have the history together. And
you don't think they kind of buried that already?
But things can get unburied.
Can always come back.
Things can always get unburied.
They do it all the time.
They have the history. You have Orton, who can easily say, I'm what is it, third generation, second generation?
Third.
Whatever. Third generation superstar. You have Cody Rhodes say, I'm a second generation superstar. There you go. You have your feud. And I would give the victory to Cody Rhodes.
Really? You'd make him world champion?
Yep. And I'd give him his WrestleMania moment that way. Dolph Ziggler versus John Cena for the WWE Championship is what I have. I'd have John Cena go in as the champion, and I'd have Dolph Ziggler walk out with the championship. I'm going for this changing of the guard.
Yeah.
With this WrestleMania 29.
What you wouldn't expect.
Right, so you have Zack Ryder, you have Cody Rhodes.
You're not going for a moment.
Shock value.
Not a shock value moment, but...
More of a, okay, you're...
Like,
these guys are now elevated.
Like, Hogan Warrior, where you kind of passed the torch.
Yeah.
Then you can't have, like, well, that was predictable because you're going up against, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be shocked.
Right.
Well, Dolph Ziggler, by this point, I mean, he's already... I don't know if I'd be shocked if he won.
Then just a match where, admittedly, it's
how would you get them? Because we really
Ziggler, John Cena.
Yeah, you really didn't touch up on it.
Yeah, you can start anyway.
You can start anyway. I think the hints. I think the groundwork has been laid in the recent months for Ziggler to be elevated to the main event. So whether it's, you could have John Cena versus Rey Mysterio on a random Monday Night Raw for the WWE Championship. And Ziggler interferes. There you go.
Yeah.
The feud started.
That match will probably happen one day.
Then this is a match just to get them on the card, admittedly. But I think that the three of them together
Alberto Del Rio
could do something.
Put on a good show.
Could put on a good show. It's Alberto Del Rio versus The Miz versus Sheamus. I don't know what the backstory to that is. Fill in the blank.
Whatever.
It's the Randy Orton Kane match all over again.
Who cares?
It's to get them on the card.
Might not be a bad match. I don't like Alberto Del Rio too much.
I would have Alberto Del Rio as the heel, The Miz as a face, and Sheamus as a heel.
Well, Alberto Del Rio, just to clarify, in case you WWE fans didn't realize already, is just a spinoff of the $1 Million Man.
Well, yes.
The Spanish $1 Million
Man.
My Undertaker match would be against Wade Barrett.
Tell me about this, Dave.
Why
Wade Barrett?
I think Wade Barrett is a phenomenal talent who has not had the correct opportunity to shine.
You think it's a little bit too much?
You
to
think,
the biggest dog in the yard?
No, not only that. You think that he's worthy enough to fight the Undertaker?
To fight the Undertaker, yes, because I would
at
have
WrestleMania.
Yes, I would have the Undertaker win.
Of course,
but
I'd have through the roof.
I'd have Wade Barrett go out in a similar fashion to the Jeff Hardy ladder match against Undertaker,
where it was kind of no quit, and he wouldn't stop until he was down,
or do something similar to Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, where Flair was just like, I've had it,
come on,
tombstone me, chokeslam me, let's go, but I'm not quitting
until I can't see
right
anymore.
This way, the next night on Raw, following WrestleMania 29 now, Barrett's gonna get cheered out of the fucking building.
When Hardy had that match against The Undertaker, that match put him over.
And that's when you start...
Yeah.
That's when you start focusing on Barrett as a future WWE champion.
You're right.
He's had the momentum going that way in the past. He's had WWE championship matches. He's never won it. Once you use his near victory over The Undertaker as the launching pad to him becoming...
Because that's the thing nowadays. You don't have to win. You have to. If you come close to winning, it's almost on the same level, as actually winning. And
then finally,
what's your main event, Dave?
My main event, we all won
unanimously.
It's Stone Cold versus CM Punk. It's there.
What are the? We've all agreed. We've all picked this and everything like that. I want to ask and put it out there right now. What do we all think the odds of this actually happening are?
Well, I mean, they've been tweeting. I think the latest tweeting war between the two of them was CM Punk tweeted something along the lines of, "Chris Jericho is just a stepping stone towards WrestleMania 29 against Steve Austin," something like that.
Yeah.
And Austin tweeted back, "Why don't you focus on 28? Don't worry if I still have enough Don't worry, I have plenty of cans of whoop ass to bring to New York." I mean, and that's just something in the long line of back and forth.
And
Granted,
there's been a few stuff on TV where he's kind of...
he's worn Stone Cold's t-shirt for no reason.
Yeah.
Shit like that, I think is brilliant. Don't have him mention it. I said when the rumor first started that CM Punk wanted to fight Stone Cold and it might happen, I said, you know what's a good fucking way to get rid of that WWE Championship belt that everyone goddamn hates and weighs 38 pounds? Have him start carrying around the Smoking Skull belt. And not mention it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Guess what's going to happen if CM Punk doesn't talk about it? We're going to talk about it.
Yep.
And we're going to hype it up more than the WWE ever could.
It'll market it. It literally will market it. They don't have to say a word about it.
I mean, he could just he could glance at it and smirk the first time he brings it out. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't have him say, hey,
the fans will hype the match.
Right, hey, Austin, look what I got. Don't have him say anything like that. Just have him carry it.
Yep.
And it's just plenty. It would build. It would build from there.
You really hate that belt.
I do hate that belt. Everyone hates that belt.
I hate it too.
Cena just did an interview saying that he hates the belt, and he's been trying to change it.
Why did they keep it for so long?
It's marketable.
It's a spinner.
And it doesn't even spin anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ibsen, what do you think of the odds of this match actually happening are?
Well, I mean, ever since the whole Twitter battle, I mean, if anything, they didn't really sign their names in blood, but I mean, it's definitely what the people want, and for them to open their mouth and say something like that, they better damn well do it.
They haven't
announced it, but I'm saying it's like
you're having two.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Twitter is just a social networking thing. It's not like he called up Stone Cold Steve Austin and had a private conversation with them. You announce it in front of millions and millions of people, and then if Stone Cold didn't say anything back to him, then I can understand.
I mean, that's something to be taken into consideration. With as important...
They know we're listening. They know we're watching.
And WWE knows what CM Punk is tweeting.
Yeah.
So if WWE had a problem with it...
They would suspend his account.
They would say...
You can't do that anymore.
Quit tweeting.
Stop tweeting.
So I think the odds of it happening are probably 80%.
Sure. Unless they think of something better. But at the current time, I don't think there's anything to top that.
I also believe that it can happen with everything. And from a standpoint of, again, going back to the Twitter stuff we have many times, but just from the business standpoint of this whole place is, the fans come first. What do the fans want? We all want this. And they all know we want it. They know now. They knew us. They knew almost another half a year ago we wanted. What
I love about these,
as soon as they announced Rock Cena, 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh my god, I remember talking about like, wow, CM Punk and Austin would be like an awesome match.
Right. What I love about this is
if
it does happen, is the fans love, they unanimously, they love Stone Cold, they love CM Punk. So I mean, only good things can happen from this match. Right. You can't be disappointed on who loses because you like the other person as well. You know what I mean? So
sure, it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation. Things cannot go shitty in this match.
Right. Which is a reason why I think WWE is going to consider it.
It's a smart move for them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just tossing it out to you guys. We didn't really talk about this beforehand, but who would be your main attraction in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good one. For next year.
For next year.
I gotta say,
this year it's Edge.
It is Edge.
Yeah, it's Edge this year. I gotta say Randy Savage, man.
All right.
I gotta say Randy Savage. It's a damn shame it wasn't this year, but we know, there's bad blood and stuff like that. But I mean,
it sucks. It sucks that we're not gonna get a Randy Savage speech.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you always want that. You want, like you mentioned to me before, a couple days ago. You want the confetti. You want the theme music to play. You want the speech.
Which is why I personally don't think Randy Savage, and it's a damn shame, I don't think Randy Savage will ever be a main attraction induction now.
Okay. All right. With that being said,
which I think is bullshit, because as much bad blood as there was between Randy Savage and WWE, there was just as much, if not more, between Hogan, and he was one of the first big, you know what I mean?
Right.
When they put this public and made this a main part of the WrestleMania experience, he was the first person they inducted in. First person.
Then I gotta say Foley.
And then what did he do? He fucking left.
I gotta say Foley.
You say Foley?
I say Foley then.
Yeah, that's coming soon.
You?
Me, I don't know. I want to say Mick, but I don't know if it would be next year. Problem is, most of the guys who I idolized as a kid have already been inducted in too. So, right. I mean, I'd like to say Savage. I'd probably say I probably would say Mick. They already inducted Bobby. You know, and it's just like a lot of the guys that I'd like to see induct. When they inducted Hulk Hogan, I remember thinking like, wow, love to see, Piper inducted in. And they inducted Piper and all that stuff.
It's like they did everything already that we wanted to see.
That's the problem. I mean,
it's just
I know what I want to see, but it's not gonna. Depending on what happens,
it's just I'm surprised.
Undertaker would be the one that's the one I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the day that he gets inducted.
Right.
It'll happen in the next 5 years, inevitably, at least. I don't know. Well.
What about The Rock?
That's true, The Rock.
But he's still sticking around. I feel that
is he?
I feel like The Rock is going to be around longer than Mick Foley.
Yeah,
so I think The
Rock.
Mick
Foley's miles.
I think
my pick would be Mick Foley.
Yeah.
If I had to pick anybody, it's New York.
That's true. That's true. It's New York. So I'll go with Mick
that
Foley.
That too. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Mick Foley.
Give me all of your. Give me 3 more people on top of that too, though.
Mick Foley, Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Your celebrity?
My celebrity.
My celebrity induction.
Captain Lou Albano.
He's already in.
Isn't he? Right, is he in?
I don't even know.
He's
not a celebrity. He's a wrestler.
Cindy Lauper?
No.
He's Mario.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what he's more known for.
My celebrity would be Leslie Nielsen.
Well, that's true.
He was the girls were feeling macho.
Yeah. Take it easy, ladies. This is a family show.
They already did Pete Rose, right?
They already did Pete Rose.
I'd put Vader on there.
Vader's a given. Vader's gonna get inducted one day.
Yeah.
I say Mick Foley, Paul Heyman. Maybe do like a semi ECW theme with it. Maybe Tommy Dreamer or Taz.
Road Dogg?
Raven.
Road Dogg.
Road Dogg.
No, think so?
I could see Road Dogg and Billy Gunn going in as
a
tag team.
New Age
Outlaws.
Right.
Yeah, that could. They've more than earned that.
I love when they do tag teams.
I think what I personally think they should do, and this isn't necessarily next year. This is when the stars align, and it's able to happen. I think they should induct Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudleys all together. As
well, they're 3 of the best tag teams.
As a put the TLC match in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
They started all that
because they changed everything after that.
Sure.
After that match,
they raised the bar.
Right.
I actually was just at the Halfpenny, and that first match was on. One of the bartenders put it on the TV, and I'd seen that match 1,000 times, but every time it comes on, I'm captivated by it.
Right. So,
well, I personally would like to see Hawk and Animal inducted in.
they are. Right?
That already happened.
See, I never fucking watched the Hall of Fame.
Didn't that happen like 2 years ago?
Yeah, last year.
Last year.
I didn't see last year's WrestleMania. You had to send it to me on a link.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
That's right.
No, I didn't. I made you pay.
A link to a pay site
Nah.
where I bought it from Amazon. That was the link. You sent me a link to Amazon.com. Thank you for that link on Amazon.com. Let's edit that out.
So yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
All right, thank you
Do we
for.
really want this to end right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Really? I'm having such a good time.
No, I'm not.
When's the next WrestleMania? When's the next pay-per-view? We're gonna do this again. So that
Next
people know.
month.
It's next month. I don't know which one it is though. It used to be a set amount, but Dave's gonna look it up right now. We'll tell you when we're.
I don't even know what the next pay-per-view is. The next pay-per-view is. Oh yeah, great website. They don't even list. Oh wait.
Elimination Chamber. No.
Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules.
Are we gonna wait for the next one after that? Or you want to do Extreme
No,
Rules?
I'll do Extreme Rules.
We'll do Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules is hit or miss with me. Used to be, but I would look forward to it. The first two were amazing.
All right. Well, that's it
Tune in next month.
for Extreme Rules and
Yep.
the following night Raw prediction.
Yep.
We'll see you.
And maybe Dave gets bored and we'll put something on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like Dave's top 10 Mania moments or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe.
But until then,
I'm Dave Cohen.
I'm Joe Winchell.
And I'm Jason Ibsen.
Thank you for listening.
We need a catchphrase.
Good night.